Father. And things that are happening today, which in our olden days will not be there. You find the general overseer has divorced his wife, and he's still the general overseer, and the church is full every Sunday, as if we have no Bible. There are certain things we have just decided to look away from. A lot of churches I see around, they are not Jesus, the pastor's church. Is it not scary that the World Council of Churches released papers about the state of the Nigerian church, that out of the 10 richest pastors in the world, 5 of them are Nigerians? But out of the 10 richest churches in the world, there's no Nigerian church there. Hey, get in control. It's worrisome. It calls for concern. World Council of Churches. Out of the 10 richest pastors in the world, 5 are, and then out of the 10 richest churches in the world, no Nigerian churches in restoring Haitian. Last week I was in Dublin. I was in Irish, Republic of Ireland, and I went to preach in a Roman Catholic university that was built about 200 years ago. The Roman Catholic Church is the richest church in the world. The Pope has no private jet. Whenever the Pope wants to travel, in January they make a list of his itinerary for the year. You are going to have to patiently listen to me and endure me, because some of you are not going to be comfortable with some of the things I'm saying, because some of you are preparing and praying and fasting so that you will soon buy a private jet as a man of God. Please go ahead and buy it, but listen. The richest church in the world is the Roman. I preached in a Roman Catholic university last week in Dublin. The Pope developed his itinerary for the year and give it to Alitalia, the Italian national carrier, that so month the Pontiff and his entourage will be going to Philippines. They will be returning they carry them. So month the Pope and the cardinals, they're going to the Caribbean, take them and bring them back. The Alitalia has the itinerary and they run it as an airline. And when you Pentecostals come up with some of the stuff and the brandishing and the financial recklessness that you have put the tithes and offerings of the people into, and also recklessness in the use of power, both spiritual and otherwise, the Roman Catholic people are laughing. I live in Ilorin, I live among Muslims and I walk among them. It's easier to convert a Muslim than to convert a Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic will be looking at you and laugh. In Dublin, where I was last week, St. Patrick is all over the town, signboards and so on and so forth. St. Patrick is a Roman Catholic priest, and he ordered all the snakes in the Republic of Ireland to gather, and they gathered. And he ordered all of them to crawl into the sea, and they did. The Republic of Ireland is the only country in the world today that has no snake. A man of God crawled them into the sea, and he's a Roman Catholic. Mommy and I were passing through Paris on Monday, and Mommy pointed to the wall and said, "See the picture of Father Dennis." Father Dennis was a Roman Catholic clergyman, and he used to come to preach in a square in Paris, dressed in his cassock. And one man walked up to him and said, "Don't come here to preach again. We don't want to see you around here. Don't come and talk about Bible here." And Father Dennis would not hear. The last time Father Dennis preached in the square in Paris, the man arrived with a knife and was sitting to one side of the square and sharpening his knife while Father Dennis was preaching. The noise of the sharpener will attract Father Dennis all the time, so he takes a glance at him. And the man also take a glance at him. "You will soon hear from me." And then he will be sharpening. And when he was done with the sharpening, he sharpened it so sharply he didn't want to throw the knife twice. So he went to Father Dennis and told him, "We've told you not to come here to preach, you refuse." Wham! One swing. Father Dennis' head dropped down. And Father Dennis himself picked his head in his hands. And the head continued to preach. And the head was saying, "I have not finished talking." The man put his knife down and ran. And Father Dennis carried his head in his hands and trekked for miles. And his head was still preaching in his hand, until blood finished in the body of Father Dennis and he collapsed and died with his head in his hand. You go to Paris today, you ask of the blood street. The blood street is that street where the blood of Father Dennis stained the whole road till he died. And where he died, the Roman Catholic people went and built a cathedral there and put a sculpture of Father Dennis in front of that cathedral with his head in his hands. So when you Pentecostals are talking about science and wonder, the Roman Catholic people are laughing. And so much has And is that not the same Roman Catholic today that churning out millions of dollars to pacify abused members? This house is collapsing, and there is the need for God to raise people to address the body. It's a great work. The kind of ministry that we're gathering around this morning is a great work, and I have wept and wept on this, because there are more who are damaging it than those who are repairing it. Those who are damaging it have the social media to their advantage, they have money to their advantage, they have education to their advantage, they have seized the front lines of public news and media. Those who are repairing it don't have money. Those who are repairing are